don't understand. I know you don't.
Who's next podcast?
You won't
That's what I
stop
said.
coming.
Nope.
Who's next podcast?
We'll call it Metal Gear Solid Crossing Snakes.
Who's next podcast?
It just turned into
It just turned into
Solidus Snake.
Why do you think he had an iPad?
And then became president.
Hi, welcome to Who's Next podcast. This is Seth, and I have
His brother Tim.
and
His friend Ryan.
Me and Ryan are not friends.
No, you're not.
I wasn't talking about Tim at all.
I know you shouldn't. It's okay. So we're bringing you our second episode of Who's Next, and one of the things we wanted to bring up today is ESRB ratings. So, looking at the ESRB website, the rating systems were brought in around 1994. Here's a little bit. The ESRB is non-profit, self-regulatory body that assigns ratings for video games and apps so parents can make informed choices. The ESRB rating system encompasses guidance about age appropriateness, content, and interactive elements. As part of its self-regulatory role for the video game industry, the ESRB also enforces industry-adopted advertising guidelines and helps ensure responsible web and mobile privacy practices. They said that their philosophy was devised after consulting a wide range of child development and academic experts, analyzing other rating systems, and most importantly, listening to parents. So, parents felt strongly that rating systems should inform and suggest, not prohibit, and should reflect the product overall rather than quantifying every instance of potentially objectionable content. So, ESRB's been around. There was some big fuss about it in the 90s too, especially with Doom when the Columbine shootings happened.
Back in 99.
Yeah, that was a pretty big deal. But apparently it's not really government regulated. It's self-regulated. It's something, from my understanding, the gaming industry basically was like, oh yeah, this is a good idea. They kind of set it up, talking, like they said, with parents and other child development stuff. And the gamers themselves, well, not the gamers, but the game developers themselves were just like, okay, yeah, that's cool. We'll put the ratings on it, whatever. So we're not really here to just break all that down about what they are, as much as we just want to talk about what effect did it have to us growing up. So, Ryan, since nobody gives a shit about you because you're not family.
Correct.
Thank you. Why don't you go ahead? What was it? Did it even matter? Was it a thing? Or
Honestly, growing up in my household, it was not a thing. Because in my house, we were the only ones with a Super Nintendo at that time. And due to our school academics, our privilege was just to play whatever games we wanted from Blockbuster.
When did this turn into Beautiful World?
Thank you. So I know there was no restrictions for us.
It was pretty tight for me and Seth. Kind of. Our parents had these weird exceptions, I guess. So the only Mortal Kombat game we were ever allowed to have in the house was the one where you could turn off the gore. Do you remember that? It was like Mortal Kombat 2 Special Deluxe Edition. It might have been 3. I don't remember. But I remember wanting to play Mortal Kombat just because we couldn't, and it was pretty popular, at the time. And that finally came out, and we were like, yes. And I remember going to Mom and like, we want to rent this, and her like, no, I know what that is. And we said, no, 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 no. On this one, you can turn it off, and that fixed everything.
Yeah, that I always thought that was interesting too, because as growing up, there's a lot of people we knew that I don't remember ratings kind of being the thing, just like it was for you, Brian. And for us though, I mean, we grew in a conservative household, Christian parents, but they weren't overly strict. Like there was a family we knew that parents were way more strict about the things that were allowed in that household. I don't even think they were allowed games, period. So,
Not for a while.
Yeah, not for a while.
Yeah, I would say we were more conservative Catholics.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
much leniency.
Yeah. yeah. When you talk about Catholics, yeah.
Yeah, because we used to go to church and it's like, you know what? God forgives you. You're
Yep.
good. Go play your Mortal Kombat.
Yep. See, we were only allowed to play Mortal Kombat if you did the brutalities. Couldn't do the fatalities.
Oh yeah,
those were off limits.
Those were the rules and restrictions. Yeah, it was
or
kinda
the babalities.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Turn them to babies.
That's all we could do.
great.
Sometimes, if the parents weren't home, we'd go to the options and turn the blood on and check out some of those fatalities. But it was just weird to me that the option was enough for our parents to say, like, this is okay. Jet Force Gemini.
Yeah.
That game is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Never would have played it if you couldn't. No. The game already had green blood.
Green blood was okay. Red blood's not okay.
Yes, green
okay.
blood is alien blood.
Yeah.
So it's cool that you're killing these aliens with like Gatling guns and collecting their heads as trophies.
Yeah.
That's
green blood.
That's like with Silent Hill, you can change the blood to black.
That
It's
would
fine.
make
They're
it okay.
monsters.
Yeah.
It's okay.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Yep.
It's weird because
They're not people.
to be honest with you, I mean, everybody played those games way before they were really of age to play those games. But
Just
I mean,
a suggestive
how
age
many
limit. It's
But
suggestive.
do you think it really helps in child rearing? Like, do you think your child will be a better person avoiding M games until they're mature enough?
No.
I think the key there is until they are mature enough. Like, I don't think there is a set age where it's just like, yep, they can rip out people's spines now. Like, they're old enough for that. And in my opinion, it would really come down to, say, for, my daughter, my personal assessment, where I see that, okay, she got exposed to something that I'm not too comfortable with. She's handling it pretty well. Like, she hasn't
not
done
asking
anything.
too many questions.
Right.
Just-
And then I might be a little more comfortable if, allowing some more things kind of close to that with her, like, in proximity. But I think it just comes down to, like, you as a parent, your personal assessment of your child and sort of, where they are and how they can handle that. Like, if you see that your child doesn't do a good job of separating fantasy from reality, maybe you don't want them playing Grand Theft Auto. But if you can see that your kid is like, I saw that in a movie. Yeah. That's what they do in movies. Like, I'm not going to do that. And it's like, all right, they can handle that maybe.
So, okay, so here's a question, too, because I was talking about this to a friend of mine, and he brings his son. He brought his son. He's like 8 or 9. He was cool with him, letting him watch Deadpool, talking about bringing him to watch Logan, but he was having concerns about letting him play. Now, I'm not trying to compare the two, but because there is differences, but he was having concerns about letting him play something like Grand Theft Auto. Okay, so do you think there's a difference between just watching it and then playing it? Is acting out violent acts? Because, like, considerably, anything that, like, Deadpool kind of showed, it showed a lot of violence and said a lot of sexual humor and things like that. Grand Theft Auto definitely might have a little heavier stuff than that, but it's really an open world, so possibly you may not run into some of that stuff. I personally never really played the Grand Theft Autos.
Yeah, I never really got into it.
Yeah, I was never a big on that.
Yeah, slowly putting my hand down.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I really do think part of the reason,
Yeah.
part of the reason, like, you and I never really got into it is because when it was, I mean, it still is popular, but when it was, like, first really kind of booming and all of our friends were playing Grand Theft Auto and we were like, we're not allowed to play that. Yeah. I think we just kind of, like, missed the train. And so we just never really got on board with that. And then we kind of got to the point where our parents were just like, yeah, you guys can, play what you want. And we just weren't that interested in it anymore.
Probably way too occupied playing something else.
Well, bringing it back.
Okay.
What do you think about that question posed about, like, okay, if that kid can be exposed to certain material,
watching versus, like, being physically engaged with, if you'd even describe it as physically engaged with. I mean, for me, there wasn't a difference. I could watch a violent movie. I can play a violent game. Neither one of those made me want to go out and do violent shit. Mm-hmm. I could hear the argument, though, that so-and-so's kid, there is a marked difference there. Like, if someone says, like, I took my son to watch this movie, Deadpool, and he didn't say boo, it was no difference. And then he says, I rented my son, and we're talking about Grand Theft Auto. I rented my son Grand Theft Auto, and then the next thing you know, he was outside, I don't know, pretending to shoot people, like, who are driving by. That's a little alarming.
He's out pretending to ride a shark, firing a grenade launcher.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because he played Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was the same thing with wrestling back in the late 90s. There was that whole thing that kids would watch wrestling, then they were doing wrestling moves on each other and hurting each other.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there was a couple kids in our neighborhood that, like, got hurt. Yep. Somebody doing wrestling moves, and that's something that you're watching. So I guess because it's really a tricky subject now than it was then, because kids have way more easy access to adult content, and they're seeing things
it's just, like, right there
sooner.
The internet.
Yep.
Yeah, the internet.
It's that much more accessible now.
Yeah, I have a 14-year-old daughter. So going through school, these kids, like, we was like, oh, no, you're not allowed to have a phone. We just got her a phone. She's in 9th grade now. Okay. She still got phones. Now, they weren't working, but if she can get them connected to Wi-Fi, which isn't hard, she had potential access to anything that she wanted, because her friends at school would be like, oh, I got the new iPhone. Here you go. I don't need this phone. This is the iPhone 5. I've got the iPhone 6. Well, that's still a fucking iPhone 5. Like, that still can do a lot of things. And you don't really think, like, oh, this is a powerful device that I can experience a lot of things and see a lot of things. Like, I can type in the word ass and watch a buttload of porn now. Like that.
And donkeys.
Yeah. Oh, donkey ass. See that too. But,
just donkey.
That kind of beats the old days of sneaking to your friend's house and it's like, hey, my dad's got a stash of Playboys. Like, holy shit.
He's got some videos.
He's got videos.
Yeah. He's got these VHS tapes of these 80 porn.
Holy shit. Rewind it back. Yeah. I want to see that part again.
Yeah. But, so, I mean, as far as the ESRB, do you find that it's still helpful, or do you think that at some point it will become pointless because of oversaturation to this adult content.
The most useful use for that I've seen is, I've been in GameStop in the past, and some kid will just grab a game off the shelf whose parents are totally oblivious to what's going on in this game, and it used to crack me up because the cashier, the lady behind the desk, would have to say, okay, I see you're buying this game. I just want to make sure you know that this is rated mature for nudity, violence, profanity, whatever. And a couple of times I've seen the parents go like, wait, what? And then, because in that sense, I've been like, it's useful, right? Because like that parent has standards for his, or her child, and the child was trying to kind of circumvent those with taking advantage of their parents' ignorance, but there was that rating system right there. But it wasn't any good until the employee made it a point to like read it out loud and show it to them. So that's the most impact that I've like personally seen from it, aside from when we were growing up and we wanted to play games that looked really cool, but we couldn't because there was an M slapped on front of the box,
which just mainly said for 17 plus. That's it.
What about A-rated games? Because
AO?
I don't know anything about.
Yeah, that's something like I've never seen, but I know he has. So we're gonna have you talk about it because
what makes a game A-rated?
Anal penetration.
A for anal.
It's AO, adults only.
Right.
That was. Well, you really couldn't do a barrel roll from that stuff. I mean, just adding everything from digitized sex, nudity, drugs.
That's what I was gonna suggest. Is it mostly sex? Is that really what pushes it over the edge?
A little bit, yeah, and it's not mild.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean, it's the same way with like the movie rating systems, That's how you get to NC-17. It's not violence. You can watch Hostel rated R. It's extremely violent. But as soon as you sow some pubic hair, straight to NC-17.
For example, way back when, a game that was actually rated AO was Duke Nukem: A Time to Kill. That was a really hard, it was a really hard to come by. And you know what gave it an AO rating? Is when you walk into a strip club, the lights go out, and then Duke Nukem says, I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
And that was it.
That was it. There was digitized
they're
boobs.
So fickle.
There was digitized boobs, of course, with a bra on and everything. But that's it. That's AO. It has blood. It has violence.
That was AO for what, time? What era are we talking about?
This is like mid-90s.
Okay. See, today, that would not push it into adults.
You ever heard of Thrill Kill?
I think, but I don't know.
It was... it was like 98, 99. They were trying to put out a fighting game where you have a select cast of characters. One was a dominatrix. One was like a redneck cannibal. One was I kid you not, a dwarf on stilts. One was a sadist. And the setting was in hell. And the whole point is to have this battle royale match. And then the winner of the tournament gets to go back on Earth for one day to do whatever he desired.
To go on a killing spree or something.
To do whatever he desired.
Probably a killing spree.
Probably because they were all bad souls in hell.
Right.
It had mild blood. I mean, I know the redneck cannibal fought with a leg. They had some fatalities, stuff like that. But as the game was wrapping up to be released, because it was in PSM magazines and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was All right, it was a 1998 fighting video game for the Sony
98.
PlayStation, but they said this is an unreleased game.
It was. Right as it was
canceled.
about to come out, they said no.
Too
It got
much.
an AO rating. Sony's like, we don't play that. So
Yeah.
they,
Well, I mean,
they stopped it.
I would assume that an AO rating, considering the fact that, there's how many titles can you name that are
To my knowledge, there's 10.
10? So getting an AO rating is like a death sentence for,
Yeah, because I know Sony and Nintendo are licensed to not sell AO.
yeah, like as soon as it hits that, they're like, nah, never mind.
You have to send it back to try to get a mature rating.
Yeah.
One game I can think of is 2006's Manhunt 2.
I heard about that.
Manhunt 2 originally got an M rating when it was released by Rockstar way back in 2004, right after preferably San Andreas. And somehow they went under the radar and snuck past the ESRB. So when they slapped the M rating, they realized, no. This is it was so bad that the ESRB had demanded that Rockstar actually pull the game from the shelves. I actually have a copy of Manhunt. You can't find it.
The
It's
first one or two?
The first one. It's a rare gem. Now with Manhunt 2,
That was also. I've got a list here of AO rated games, and they're like all Windows, like computer,
Yeah, mostly.
PC
Yeah,
games.
they're not gonna hit
They're
console.
not consoles.
but with Manhunt 2, it was, I want to say it was Rockstar London took over because Rockstar Toronto did the first one, Rockstar London did the second one. And this time they were trying to push the envelope with more gory executions and stuff like that. And by the time it hit the rating system, they said, this is AO. You need to tone this down or you can't release it. You're not sneaking bias again.
Is that the one where you're like an inmate in prison?
You're in a psychiatric ward.
Okay, and you're fighting. They're like monsters and shit.
No.
Okay, I'm thinking of a different game then.
You're pretty much a mental patient who was once a scientist, and you're a part of this project who's monitoring you and hunting you down. And you pretty much have to kill your way to the truth because you have amnesia.
All right, so those are examples of games that got pumped up to AO, pretty much just for violence. So, what exactly, if you can, if you know, what made it AO?
I'd say more, again, it's the not toned down violence, the drug use, because actually one instance, if I can recall, one of the weapons of execution is a syringe, which you plunge into their heart and then you inject air. Sometimes you're using this pigment serum, which puts you in a dreamlike state, so it's like drug use. There was sadomasochism. God, it's been so long since I played that game.
Yeah. So.
I know the first game, when they did the whole executions, it was in a VHS style frame. So when you were killing the guy, you had like the squiggly lines,
Like
distorted.
that grainy
you had
kind
that
of
grainy
footage.
kind of distorted image. I mean, you can see what they were doing, but it was really grainy.
Huh.
With this one, with updated graphics, you can clearly see what they were doing, and the original uncensored version was way too violent with the kills. So they had to take that,
Yeah.
bring it back, bring it down to an M, and the way to do that was when you're doing these executions, you had to distort the screen with different colors. So your eyes are just kind of playing tricks on you. where you're trying to figure out what he's doing. You kind of know, but you really can't see it. And they made it even worse when they released the game for the Wii. So you kind of had to act it out with the nunchuck. My God, did that got so much
but that
backlash.
was mature. The one for the Wii, that was still
the one for the Wii was mature.
rating.
I would think it'd have to be.
It had to.
think.
Oh, that's right. You said Nintendo.
There's only
no.
we're looking at that list. There was only like 2 games maybe that came on consoles. Like one was actually Grand Theft Auto, the San Andreas, because they had that little secret.
The hot coffee.
Yeah. Hot coffee. And that
which was a
gave
mod.
An AO rating, and so. But yeah, AO ratings are not really a thing, but they exist. They exist, but barely anybody uses them. I mean, are you doing it for the art, or are you doing it to just keep on
Push
going?
the envelope.
Yeah,
that's what it is. What about Postal? I don't know if you guys heard of Postal.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
It's one of the games I can think of where you can actually pee on somebody.
There you go.
Yeah.
That needs to happen.
It's winning all around.
So that's rated AO.
No, that was an M.
There's not much. There's like a Playboy game that's AO for Mac. There's that
Leisure Suit Larry.
Leisure Suit Larry got AO. I remember reading about that. I thought
that got mature. I didn't.
There actually is.
I think a mature one came to consoles. But PC, it's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. AO.
I want to say there was an NES game that was rated AO.
Was it the one where you're who you like General Custard, and you go to the end of the stage and rape the Indian?
Not the game I was thinking, but
I
was pretty bad.
I think that's before Nintendo. I'm going way back.
That's like Atari.
That. Yeah, that's way back.
But I want to say it was Nintendo where, God, I can't think of what it was called. But it's a game where you torture people. And you can kill them any kind of way that you want.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
for NES. Think about that.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
But so just
not as great as peeing on people, but
yeah, that's true. Well, nothing gets better than peeing on people. Right. I've been trying to talk Tina into it for a while now.
Yeah, so. She needs to get on her shit.
No, but anyways. So getting back to just the rating, looking at AO games, and there's not many. There's mainly most of these games stay at M at the worst. But so would you say okay, we grew up with a rating system that mattered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think it made a difference in our child rearing? Other than it definitely made a difference in what we played and what we know of some games. Like, for instance, we missed, you made a point, we missed out on Grand Theft Auto. But do you think we'd have been different people if we were allowed to play those games or not?
Probably. I remember there was this kid that used to, go to the school with me. I can't remember his name. And I remember I didn't really like the guy, but he would just kind of, come by and hang out sometimes. And we had that Mortal Kombat game that I was just talking about earlier. We rented it for a while, and he came by and he wanted to play it. And he had insisted on turning the gore on. And I was like, can't do that. Parents say it's a no. I can't play it unless the gore is turned off. Yeah. B, I got all high and mighty with him. I was just like, that's wrong. That's just disgusting. You can't do that. I kicked the dude out of our house.
You must have did that. I don't remember.
It was just me and him. The parents were off at Walmart or something, and he came by, and I was like, yeah, you can hang out for a while. And I kicked him out because he wanted to turn the blood on Mortal Kombat. So definitely made a difference that there was, that focus on that's wrong, can't do that, we never would have been able to play GoldenEye if it wasn't for the paintball mode.
Yeah, but
I think
really
Dad
matter.
liked it enough that he was kind of willing to overlook that.
I don't think that.
But
That was
he would still insist, though, because there were
Yeah.
times when we were playing and we were trying to unlock some of the other cheat codes, and you can't have any cheat codes on to do it.
It was a cheat code to have on. That's right.
Yeah. And so he would come in and we'd be playing, and he would notice, like, almost every time. And he would say, like, why don't you have the paintball mode on? And we'd have to be like, well, we're trying to unlock infinite ammo. Can't have paintball mode. We'll turn it on as soon as we get it, Dad, please. It was, that was the thing. That was the rule.
Yeah.
Paintball mode.
I don't know. It's funny, too, thinking back. We weren't allowed to play Mortal Kombat, but we were allowed to go watch the Mortal Kombat movie in theaters when it came out. Because it was PG-13.
Because it was PG-13.
And that was also funny because it's a notoriously R-rated material game with the fatalities and the blood and the gore. And
So
all
what
that
you're saying
kind of
is
stuff.
if you guys were allowed to play Mortal Kombat, you'd probably be fighting in a tournament
Probably.
representing Earthrealm.
I don't know if I necessarily.
That's going on right now? Because I want to be there.
Yeah.
Well, you missed out.
Yeah. But
You better catch back up on 2.
I think I might disagree with you on that a little bit. I mean, I think, it definitely affects the way a child is by not playing a game. But if you have the game, I don't think it matters. Like the paintball mode being on or off. I think,
For me and you, that didn't fucking matter.
Well, I think
but
it-
to the parents,
Well, like you said,
shit was critical.
It depends on the child, and you just don't know. So you kind of have to have those weird rules and stuff sometimes because you just don't know how it's affecting your child's mind. So I kind of get it, but for me personally, I never really cared to play a game because blood squirted out. I just thought like Mortal Kombat, like the Scorpion, Sub-Zero, like that was like badass, like that was cool.
Yep.
And I play them now, so it didn't prevent me from playing it, even though I don't think that was the goal of what they were doing either, is to prevent me from playing when I'm older. But I don't think it would have really changed anything because we may not have played Mortal Kombat, but we played like Jet Force Gemini. We played like GoldenEye, Perfect Dark. We played other games.
Yeah.
And I think in all people, there's violent tendencies that we have and an attraction to violence that we have. It's what we get from movies and games, and it's just a different release. But yeah, I think if you catch your kid like, oh, look at the blood, and like he's like maybe getting off on it or something like that. Like he's really
Look at me,
enjoying-
I'm bleeding just like him.
Yeah, like
okay.
something like that. Maybe you might want to look at restrictions and stuff. Well, I think you should always do. I mean, I'm raising all my kids with certain restrictions.
Yeah.
But like I've already kind of loosened up with Alicia. We watch horror movies. Some bloody stuff.
How's that going?
It's going great. She loves them. She can't go to sleep after she watches them, but she always wants to watch another one. And so, I mean, but she kind of doesn't like the too crazy. Like, I tried to watch the new Evil Dead with her, the very bloody, gory, crazy one, and she had a problem getting through it. So she ended up just not finishing it. So it kind of stays more to the tamer stuff, like maybe like Scream, the Scream
I
movies.
was about to say the first Evil Dead?
Not the original '80s. I'm talking about the latest new movie they did, where like the girl
you said
chainsaw
more toned
somebody. in
down,
half.
and I'm like,
oh yeah, well maybe like that. Yeah,
the laughable claymation Evil Dead?
yeah, maybe that one too. But no, I think some of the stuff she just likes that are just more like spooky, like with ghosts and stuff, and it's not like the ultra, because there's different forms of horror. I mean, there's your ultra violent where it's like a blood fest.
Yeah, like your
and-
slashers.
Yeah, the slasher stuff.
Yeah.
But then there's your other like, horror where you're on there.
Your psychological horror.
Yeah, like you're waiting for something to bump and jump, and it's not really about the blood splatter. It's about the scares and all that. So she kind of takes more to those, and I don't mind watching them with her because I too.
Exposed to.
Exactly. That's like don't watch this movie at home, but go to this school and you whatever. And you can't control that. I'm not trying to poke fun at that. I'm saying I just feel like it's weird because there was also the other thing that I know Dad in particular used to do where it'd be like, oh no, we're not gonna watch this movie. But then, like, there would be this other movie that's like, oh, I like this movie. And then it would have stuff in it, and he'd be like, well...
Death Race.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were... I can't remember if you were there when we were watching... It was, I guess, the original Death Race.
Yeah, I was there with Sylvester Stallone, and Mom had a fit about the tits.
David Carradine.
She made us turn it off.
Yeah.
But, like, Dad was like...
Exactly. The woman was... sitting there with no clothes on, just like literally shaking her titties around, and then my mom turns around and sees that and completely flips out. And my dad, his response was something to the line of, "But it's Death Race."
Too late.
And
speaking about that, did you guys see on Netflix Death Race 2050?
I didn't watch it, but I saw it was there.
I want to check it out.
Well, you have fun with that.
I know Dad used to tell me, like, that Death Race was like, oh, this is a funny scene where, like, the hospital throws a bunch of people out in the street in wheelchairs to get run over because they'd run over people with the cars and they get points. Well, then one car goes and just runs over all the doctors and stuff and gets, like, a bunch of bonus points.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
David Carradine's character.
Yeah, so... that was like, Dad was like, oh yeah, I remember this movie, it was great, whatever. And then like, it was almost like whenever they felt, like
it is
like
it's whenever he was like, I enjoyed this movie, the level of violence, it was just like the horse blinders, he was just like, but this one's okay because I liked it. Yep.
I can recall back in my childhood 2 movies I got kicked out of the living room watching.
Oh, yeah?
And that was 1992's Dracula? No.
Okay. No.
Who's in it?
Gary Oldman, Keanu Reeves, Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins.
What got it kicked out? What scene?
Somebody shows their titties in that movie.
That's usually what it takes. Once the boobies come out.
The other movie, go figure, is Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a scene where they're on stage.
Like a lot of sex in that movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
That'll do it.
It was a scene where they meet
I've only seen
Antonio Banderas' character, and they're on stage with a play, and then one of the victims is used in the play, and they like strip her naked.
There you go.
Then kill her. So I was like, close your eyes. Like, get the fuck out.
No,
I was like, at the same time, she's like, get out, smartass.
Yeah, I remember trying to watch Fight Club with Mary Beth. And we were in my room, door shut. Watching Fight Club. We're like sitting next to each other. We're not touching or anything.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
You better not be watching Fight Club in there.
And so there's that scene in Fight Club where there's like that kind of dreamlike sequence where it's just like this sex fantasy, and it's just like this kind of drug-addled sex scene.
Yeah.
Do you remember that scene? It's basically just I can't remember the name of the woman who plays in that movie.
It's Tim Burton's wife.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
But anyway, it's basically just her naked and like the screen's kind of distorted but like clearly having sex. And of course, right in the middle of that, my mom walks in to like see if we want something to eat or some shit. And it's just immediately like, what are you watching? Kicked us out of the house. And I was like, she could have walked in when someone was getting their face pummeled in the middle of the Fight Club, and she would have been like, "What you guys watching? Fight Club? Okay." You know, and like that would have been it. Yep.
I think if that was my mom and she walked in while I was watching that scene, she would have walked in like, "Hey, do you guys want something to eat?" Okay, I guess pizza rolls it is.
Well,
and then I would have got an ass chewing later.
Yep.
well, that's
Well, that's considerate.
we're gonna
You're not
we're
gonna
gonna flip it up
humiliate
a
you
little
in
bit.
front of your friends.
So I hope y'all like some of the discussion, and if you're listening, tweet at us, let us know, Facebook, whatever, what you think. Maybe you had some ESRB related incidents where you couldn't get games or you couldn't play. Maybe you missed out on a game. Let us know. Tweet at us, message us. We like to hear some of the stories. We're gonna we're gonna go ahead and flip it up to another different segment. So we have a new one. This one will be called. All right. Well, we'll be doing our next segment. It'll be Big Dick,
Little Dick.
No dick.
Yes, there we go. All right, so this segment we're taking a game character, male game character, and we'll discuss whether he has a big dick, low dick, or maybe no dick. Cause
Knocking him down a peg or two.
yeah, why not? I mean, we always see women objectified, so we're gonna objectify a man. Why not? Solid Snake's on the board.
Ooh.
Yep. So I'm assuming probably everybody at this
It's
table is
probably
saying-
unanimous, but all right, go ahead, Seth. What's your assessment?
He's definitely slinging that big dick around. He's definitely slinging. He's also got them big juicy buns too. Cause on what was it? Was that Metal Gear 2: Sons of Liberty? When he would run around and he'd have these like huge like haunches and this like defined ass that was just very disturbing to watch while playing the game.
He's always had a defined ass.
Not in the first one because it was so.
Well, the graphics
pixelated.
weren't good.
Yeah,
but no,
it was-
what's her name had
Meryl.
had the booty. Yeah, Meryl.
Meryl was supposed to have the booty. You didn't get to see the booty until what was it? Like the fourth game?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was in the first one and it was
She's-
pixelated.
Yeah, she's
And
running
she,
away
like,
and she's
run
got
away.
like that Tomb Raider
Like,
square
two
ass going,
squares like moving.
But
Yeah.
they told you she had the booty. You knew she had the booty.
Because they told you.
Because they told you.
But
And
you know what?
you could see like the hip sway. That was like the most
I could
you
say
get.
that Angelina Jolie and Laura Croft had the booty. She did not have the booty. No matter how much I say she had the booty, there was no booty there. So, you know what? I didn't know until Metal Gear Solid 4. So, no.
Okay, everybody, case closed.
Yep. So,
No booty.
big dick. So,
We're supposed to be objectifying men, and we
Yeah.
went straight
Well-
to.
well,
We went straight to what we know best.
I was
Just kidding,
talking
y'all.
about Metal Gear's booty, and it just brought us. I mean, not Metal Gear's, but Solid Snake's booty, but then it got us over to Meryl ass. So, Solid Snake slinging a big one. Why you think? You agree, or are you saying he got a small one? What are you saying?
I say a little one.
Oh yeah, okay.
No, why? you gotta back it up.
All right, cool. Ow. I say a little one because
You gotta fit in all those tight places, sneaking around.
Okay,
I just
we do need to clarify.
he might
Are
have
we talking
smushed that
about-
dick a couple times, just squeezing in places. And
Which snake are we talking
it's not
about?
getting any air.
Naked
okay.
snake, solid snake.
Okay. We're gonna do all the snakes. So let's start
Oh,
with
boy.
Solid Snake. Solid Snake, big dick. That's what I'm saying. Solid Snake.
I say little.
Okay.
Oh shit. First thing that comes to mind is big.
You know what? I changed mine. I say no dick because he was a
Oh,
clone, and because he was a clone, they probably didn't make that part. For
Okay, people, here he is playing the clone
We're
card.
talking about like his character, whether or
Okay.
not that defines.
Well, okay, so you say little dick. Let's
say
go.
little.
What you got for solid? Why solid little?
I don't know, he just sounds so disgruntled about everything. And it's just like, Snake,
He's
do
got
you
a
have
tough
something?
life, man.
Yeah, it's like, do you have something to tell us? He's like, with war, and fighting, and it's like
War never changes. That's the wrong game.
it's like, how's your dick, man? How's your dick in that suit? Don't worry about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Those tight suits.
Can his nuts breathe in that suit? It's like Snake. It'll protect you against the cold, but not against shriveled nuts. Sorry, Snake.
All right, well, logistically speaking, he probably has a low sperm count. All right, I'll give you that.
He does also age quickly.
Yeah.
So they got shriveled up a lot faster. So he had Benjamin Button's disease in reverse. Right?
You tell me.
I don't know.
What the hell?
You talking about the movie, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button?
Where he ages backwards and becomes
Right.
younger, where he just fast forwards into an old man in like 10 years or something.
Okay, Solid Snake from 4, big dick.
So his dick grew. So
There you go. There you go.
so he's a grown man and one small dick. Becomes an old man, gets big dick.
His dick seen some shit.
I think I'll just run around and expose myself and be like, oh yeah, my dick's seen some shit, so now it's big.
Why is it bigger in 4?
It's the Curious Case of Benjamin Button syndrome.
No. Why is it bigger in 4?
Because
Why
you finally
can't
get
it
to
be
see
big?
Meryl's ass and it got hard. Right?
I mean, finally he gets with Meryl, and then she splits, probably because of the size of it.
He never got with Meryl.
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, they drove off into the sunset
Yeah.
after the
And
first
then
game.
in the 4th one, it talked about, they lived together, but then she split for whatever known woman reasons.
I don't remember why
I
they.
don't remember why they split either. Well, actually, it was a weird thing in one because you can either ride off in the sunset with Meryl or ride in the sunset with Ocelot. Well, no, not
Liquid?
Ocelot. No. I'm sorry.
Gray Fox?
Otacon.
Otacon. I can't think of his
Dave.
name.
No one wants to ride off in the
But
sunset
there
with
was
that
there was
guy.
a double ending, right?
It was
Because-
a double ending depending on whether
Yeah.
you submitted to the torture.
Yeah, that was it.
If
the
you
torture.
submit it, then you ride off with Hal, Otacon.
And so can we back up and say what you pick in the torture is how big Snake's dick is in 4?
Yes.
Okay. So the torture. Okay.
With more electricity means more growth, gentlemen.
I'll take your answer, sir.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds great. All right. Next up, Liquid Snake.
None.
No dick.
He's always jealous of his brother.
I don't know. See, I'm gonna have to say, after playing Phantom Pain, he's gonna have to go with a big one.
Wait.
He's
who
in
was
Phantom
he at
Pain?
in Phantom Pain?
He was the little the kid that he was the white snake or the white mamba. I think they call him the white
Oh
mamba.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
And you bring him back to base, and he's causing you all these problems. He's a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
badass.
yeah.
He winds up riding off with the Metal Gear that you get. Sahelanthropus.
Yeah.
He gets in that thing and cruises the fuck out. And he's like, peace, motherfucker. He's a kid.
So, let me ask you this, Ryan. Is his dick big as a kid and then gets small? Does he just lose it
Did
by
that
Metal
change
Gear?
your assessment?
I don't think I played that game.
So by Metal Gear 1, he's just like, oh, yeah.
You
no,
got all the dominant genes. I have all the recessive genes. And South Snake's like, what are you complaining about? I got a medium size, okay?
the
Dominant. It's like Big Boss was not dominant.
Okay, all right. So, Big Boss. What size is he back in?
All right, so we're talking about Naked Snake.
Yep.
Yeah, he's gonna get a big one too.
Yeah, he's got a big one.
That guy's a champ.
I have to agree, guys.
Okay,
Yeah.
and it doesn't shrink at all. So it stays same size.
Nope.
Even when he dies, it doesn't shrink.
It's
Just maybe get bigger.
it's probably
I think they took his his dick and they made clones. And
So that's what Solidus was made out of. So they took the bad genes, liquid, good genes,
and
solid.
dick.
And then the dick came, and that was Solidus Snake.
It just turned into Solidus
It just turned
Snake.
into Solidus Snake.
Why do you think he had an eye patch?
And then became president.
He's also known as One-Eyed Snake.
That's pretty great. Yeah, okay.
So, just to be clear, Naked Snake's penis is the only thing that remained, and it grew into the president of America.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he is a huge
Metal
dick.
Gear
so-
1 and 2.
Yeah, because you kill him in 2.
Yeah, but you do. Raiden does. I'm not really concerned.
Yeah, because he goes by the name George Sears.
Yeah,
Just on
yeah.
the Solid Snake.
So he's all related. So I think we got Liquid, Solid, Naked Snake was also Big Boss, and then Solidus Snake is just a big dick. Naked Snake.
and his
Just the
son
dick.
Jack is a vagina. So
Yeah.
he's a robot ninja. But
Yeah, so I mean, does he change when he becomes Raiden in like 4? He was a badass in 4.
Yeah.
Like when he stopped the Freightliner.
I think okay. My theory is that he killed Solidus, and then Solidus turned back into a big dick, and then Raiden had it surgically implanted. So he never had a dick. Had it surgically implanted. Solidus is
And then he
dick after he became the Super Ninja Warrior with big dick.
There we go.
So
That makes sense.
it does make
Especially
a lot
by
of sense.
Kojima standards.
Yes, right.
You know, like
especially
you can
the
just
scene where he's twirling his legs
Yeah.
and he's just like, yeah, you see a third leg being twirled.
I just want to
There you
call it
go.
out there, Konami. I know you just let go. You got some weird stuff happening with the Metal Gear franchise. Call us up. We'll make your game based off dick size, and we'll get it together. So, thank you. All right, next.
We'll call it Metal Gear Solid Crossing Snakes.
That's pretty great. All right. So next we're going to do predictions. So we're going to try and predict the future of Death Stranding. We actually just watched the videos.
Bonkers.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you my prediction, which I thought the song was great. It definitely described my attitude of seeing Norman Reedus naked. So that was very great. But I'm going to predict that there actually is only 10 minutes of gameplay and the rest of it's a movie that you just watch with all the actors in there,
so it's a Metal Gear Solid 4.
basically.
Okay.
Yes, but less gameplay. Like it's just because
Even less.
he's by himself, so
And
he.
more naked Norman Reedus.
But I'll tell you this: those 10 minutes are first of all gonna take place with just naked Norman Reedus. They'll be the greatest 10 minutes of gameplay, and yeah. So
You won't
that's what I
stop
said.
coming.
Nope. All right. What's your prediction?
Oh shit.
You got put on the spot.
was looking at
sir.
I was kind of hoping to piggyback off of somebody else. That shit is so bonkers. Like I don't even know where to go with that. Like that's it. That's all I got. You know, like you take the fetus and you hook up to a jar and the water goes down. What the fuck?
That's pretty great. Your prediction?
Well, by the looks of it, it kind of looks like in a joint custody battle. This is Norman Reedus' weekend to have the kid. So he's sent on an island covered in handprints.
Is this all an elaborate scheme to get out of child support?
Not when the kid's attached to you.
Alright, so anyway, keep going. So what else happens? Keep it together, man.
All right, I got it. All right, so this is his weekend of custody child support, and he's on an island. And then she's like, you don't know what. She's like, you don't know what it's like to bear a kid. He's like, well, I never will. She's like, oh yeah? Guess what? So now the kid's attached to him with the umbilical cord.
Well, wait. He had his stomach cut open. I'm kind of thinking maybe there was no woman. He just got pregnant.
So he's like a symbiote?
I think maybe because we didn't get a look.
So the only one that can satisfy Norman Reedus is Norman Reedus.
That's probably true.
I can believe it. He's a nice guy in real life. Trust me.
But that's probably true. But I'm thinking we're dealing more with like a Cartman situation from South Park, where if you remember, Cartman's mom is also his dad because she's the hermaphrodite.
Actually,
who fucked herself.
not anymore.
Yeah, they did retcon that a little bit, didn't they?
Later on.
It's pre-South Park then.
But for the longest of time, yes, Cartman's mom was a hermaphrodite, who's mom and dad, and not the entire 1992 Denver Broncos, which I actually put my money on.
Yeah, the whole team came in as
But it also did turn
Cartman's
out
dad.
that Scott Tedderman's dad is actually Cartman's dad. So him and Scott Tedderman are actually
Oh yeah, the
brothers.
one that he killed his parents and made
so he
chili
grounded
out
up
of
his
them.
own father.
Yeah, he.
Shit was nuts.
Yeah.
And they showed Muhammad.
Yeah, but Comedy Central wouldn't let them do it, didn't they?
Nope.
Didn't they cut that? Yeah. Well, not to get too much into that. So, okay, so your prediction is custody battle, taking the kids, his week, goes to an island, and it's just like...
To see his father-in-law.
Yeah, okay.
Who has a whole army of soldier fetuses.
Okay.
He's like, the last thing I wanted to see is go see your dad.
So that's your prediction for Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think the gameplay is going to be like? Is it a first-person shooter?
I think the only weapon you're gonna have is the fetus and the kid.
That's good. All right. Anything to add to that, Tim?
No.
People, I swear that the look Tim is giving me right now.
I've got absolutely nothing for this. I mean, the trailer, he's on the beach, naked, oily handprints all over him, imaginary phantom
Somebody
baby.
touched that butt, too, because he had handprints
Yeah.
everywhere.
Phantom baby that he's holding, baby disappears, handstand, walks away onto the beach. Yeah.
Happens.
And just a bunch of dead animals on the beach.
Yeah.
No idea.
I don't know, man. If I see him walking on the beach and them soldiers come at him and all of a sudden the baby turns into some blade,
That would make sense.
I'm just going to sip my tea.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense. With Hideo Kojima, I guess everything makes sense. It doesn't matter.
I can't get in that man's mind.
No.
Just...
I mean, I'm sure you've seen Pan's Labyrinth.
But you know what? I bet you when you play the game, you're going to be like, oh, it all makes sense now.
Yep.
It all makes sense.
That's what's going to happen.
That's why Konami hates him. All his shit makes sense. How does he do it?
Well, any last thoughts or comments on anything? I do have one. And I meant to say it in the last episode we did on Who's Next. But it just came to me while we was talking. I guess because you was making comments about him being a father and custody battles and like...
You mean the same
I guess
segment we were just talking
some
about?
reason I came to the idea about expectations on men. Like what people think about men still or something like that. It just came to my mind. When me and Eric were at Walmart, me, Eric, and Kevin were at Walmart buying the food for the cooking segment we did in the last episode. We got stopped by 2 or 3 different women, like older women that were just like, "What are you looking for?" You know, and I'm like, "Oh, we're just looking for
Clearly, you're lost.
goat cheese." Yeah. It's like, and then one lady was like, "Oh, what y'all looking for, honey?"
Did they work there?
No.
Nice.
Customers. No, not
friendly
not
bunch.
employees. No, we're friendly. And it was nice. But one lady was like, "Oh," talking to Eric, like, "Oh, let me teach you. Let me show you what this is. Oh, it's over here. And look, when you use this, you better make sure you only use a little bit of salt. And you know what? If you're gonna use this, you might want to use." And Eric's just like,
I got it.
"Yeah, like I know what I'm doing. I just don't know where stuff is at this Walmart. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just because I don't know where food's at here doesn't mean I don't know how to cook. But it's that like assumption, like dudes are just like cooking.
Me, man.
You know, exactly that. So I mean, it was, and I don't want to make fun of them. They were being nice and they helped us find the stuff we were looking for, probably better than the employees would have.
Yeah,
you know?
but outside of that, they need to shut the fuck up, right?
That's what
pretty much?
Eric was saying. He was like, "Man, I should have told her something. I had to teach her something. She tell me how to cook. I'll teach her how to cook."
Man, my husband at home ain't listening to me. Maybe if I tell these gentlemen what to do, they'll be fine.
Yeah, but it just came to me. We was talking about all that crazy shit with this strand.
Ladies, we don't want your directions.
Well, maybe sometimes, but
I could probably use some help.
yeah.
So,
So sometimes it depends.
don't hesitate.
I mean,
No, ladies, I got it. Maybe not the first or the second or the third. Maybe not the fourth. But at some point, I'll get it.
yeah.
Let me do
If
it.
not, you could just take Naked Snake's dick. Solidus come help you how to cook.
And hide it like in a cardboard box.
Yeah, yeah, do that. Yeah, that'll be perfect. Well, thanks for listening.
Much
Hope
appreciated.
all the dick talk didn't get y'all guys.
Yeah, there was a
into
lot
the
of
way.
penis in
Yeah,
this
there was a
episode.
That
lot
was
of
more than
penis
I
and
thought
dick
it was.
talk.
There was more penis than I ever thought.
Yeah,
that
it
we
really was. I didn't think we were gonna go do like solid
would.
snake,
We went
liquid
from
snake.
one man's penis to three men's penis
To a person.
plus
And then-
a man penis. It was a lot.
Well, next week we'll do Mario's. Or maybe not. But anyways, thanks for listening. Check us out, website, www.whosnextgaming.com. Check our Facebook, Twitters. You can get to it through the website. It's all Who's Next GE, Who's Next Gaming. Check us out, tweet at us, talk at us, let us know what's going on. We'd like to know that people are out there listening and getting involved. And also, again, we're doing a cooking segment, which will be the next Who's Next. And if any of y'all have tried to cook any of this stuff, want to send pictures of it to us and all that, that would be great too. Thanks for listening. See ya.